Gridlife, Midwest. We are at Gingerman Raceway, and I haven't been here since 2017 when I was here doing some driving with Hyundai, so I'm really stoked to be back. Every like 10 feet that I walked earlier, I was just running into the homies and people that we know. Rob is here with his Rotor FD. Sabrina and TJ are here. Grant. Hyundai is also here. They have their whole setup. They're gonna be doing ride-alongs. We're here with RTR. I obviously am not here with the C6, even though originally I was supposed to bring that car. I'm gonna be driving a Drift HQ car that I'll show you guys in a little bit, but this is just going to be amazing. I've actually never done any drifting at a Gridlife ever. I've only done their road racing sessions the last time that I was at Gingerman, and I'm really excited to do some drifting. Oh, I just passed Josiah to the FDF crew and Nate. Man, everyone's here. It's just gonna be a freaking amazing weekend, and I'm really excited to do some driving. Jim and Stardid made the long drive down here in my 2-car trailer with the Drift HQ IS300, and this is what I'm going to be driving this weekend. TJ's Valvoline car, and that's kind of all the way on the other side of the paddock, so we'll just say hi to them later. But I'm really stoked to be driving this car. Huge shout out and thank you to Duarte for letting me borrow it. And the one thing that I will be familiar with are the sounds, because this one does have an LS in it. This is actually a built LS6. He was saying it makes around 485-ish horsepower, and this car was actually being driven by Andrew at the last Hyperfest that we were all at. So I've seen it in action a lot. I've seen Duarte drive this car and it looks like a blast. It's definitely going to be way different than anything I've ever driven before, so I got some adapting to do, but I'm really stoked to be behind the wheel of the Drift HQ IS300. And again, huge thank you to Duarte for letting me take his car out for the weekend. One of the craziest things about this car to me are these freaking water lines. I've never seen fittings this big, like it's literally the size of my hand. I've never seen fittings this big, like outside of industrial buildings. These are the gnarliest water lines I've ever seen. Duarte said the previous owner also had like the fuel lines like this, and they changed it. So these end pieces are like industrially pre-put on, so it's almost impossible for them to ever come off. And then if you look inside here, they had to cut and make room for them to come all the way to the back, so that is pretty wild. This car has a CD09, so at least it's what I'm kind of familiar with in my 350Z, but of course it's gonna feel a little different in this. We got a hydro, and then I'm pretty sure the rear is just stock welded. That's one thing I'm not 100% on, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. So I'm very excited to have my very first IS300 experience. I'm gonna get fitted in the car, and our very first drifting session is up shortly, so it should be fun. I love it.
Okay, you right back that way? Yeah, I got it.
Add some pink to the car.
Alright, thanks, Dick. I'll see you. Have fun, Collete.
Thank you. Ugh. Dude, huge shout out Duarte for building his cars with sliders on it.
Yeah, for real.
It's the only cars at the compound besides mine with sliders.
He knows he's short and other people still have to drive his cars.
I can reach the pedals. That never freaking happens. The only thing that I need to do is go up, so I just put a bunch of padding on, and I think this is feeling pretty good. Can you put the hood down just so I can see? So far, this is probably gonna be the easiest car that I've been able to fit into. I think like I fit really well.
Yeah. I thought you would, because I was like eating the wheel. I was like, oh, this is gonna be good.
Let's see. This one's a little, this side's a little shorter than this, but I think I can even it out. I think we're good to go. this. You're not gonna believe this. So Nick was driving the car over to Tech, and when he was driving over there, it's pretty far away. The car started smoking from the engine bay. Long story short, the battery cable was going straight from the alternator to the starter, and it decided that today was going to be its last day. So a lot of smoke was coming out there. Luckily, Nick had to drive a long way for that to happen with all the accessories on that kind of overloaded it. So we were able to find that problem out now before I'm on track and that's happening and I can't even smell it. So a little bit of PTSD right now. I don't know. I don't even know if it's just me or what, but luckily Nick caught that problem and they're going into town to try and get a new battery cable to fix the car. So hopefully I can make it into the next drift session. To the rescue. Now everything's working, no anything to worry about. Fingers crossed, and we should be good to go. It is just in time for the second drift session. Adam's all lined up. I'm gonna get in the car and have some fun. Duarte shred in this car. Everyone here is taking photos of it. I'm stoked that I was even able to bring it, and I feel like all this freak stuff just happens to be happening in this video, which sucks. So brought the car in after a lap and a half. I saw a little bit of smoke when I was waiting on grid to go out again. Obviously, trauma, PTSD kicks in, and yeah, I'll just show you. What's wrong with this photo?
All right, so what
I spy with my little eye.
You got like, there's a lot of oil here, first of all.
Yeah.
So went out for like 2 laps, and this fitting here, I guess it was just tapped in slightly and JB welded, and that's not ideal way to do it. So as you can see, it broke off. And
It popped off.
Absolutely everywhere. It's all over the bottom of the hood.
So this was the smoke that I was seeing, like come through here. Bitch sucks. Our game plan right now is that he just wants to take the cover off, clean it really, really well. Worst case scenario, we JB weld it with some quick stuff that will dry overnight so I can at least drive tomorrow. Best case scenario is that we can find a welder somewhere around here and have him do it the proper way. And then I still will probably only have the car ready to start driving tomorrow, which is our last day here. It is what it is. I think I need to go like get saged or something.
So the reason why this JB Weld fix failed is because they reused the factory rubber PCV grommet and shoved it in here and then JB welded on top of that. And the JB Weld's not going to harden nor stick to the two surfaces here. And I guess the reason why that was done is because the wrong size fitting was used. So this just kind of like falls in there, and they use this as like a... to make it fit, basically. But, yeah. Do we even want to try and JB fix it? Because now we're still doing it onto that, which is the problem. Which is the problem. So
is that enough space to fix with welding, or is it too far?
It's way too big. Like this thing just falls in there. You can see how much JB Weld is still left on there, and it still falls right in there, and you can't take a gap like that. So basically, we're just gonna have to look for a different size fitting.
We're going to go on the hunt for fittings at Gridlife. Grinder, a pipe.
Alright, so I got my fitting here, and what I'm going to do is get all this old JB Weld off of here, take this pipe and cut it down, and then we're going to knock this pipe into the valve cover, then we're going to take this fitting, and it's the perfect size for this, so we're going to tap that into there, and then JB Weld this to the cover, this JB Weld that to that, just for extra insurance, and that should work. So now we'll take that, put that pipe in there, and I'm gonna go try to find a TIG welder. Worst case scenario, I mean, we can JB it. It'll hold. If done properly, it'll hold.
It's the next day. We just talked to the trad, and Nick has everything fixed.
Fixed. It's all fixed.
It is all fixed. We got our JB Weld chilled overnight.
Yeah,
there we go.
That's factory. That's factory right there.
Basically, right? Got that all fixed, so hopefully today I'll be turning my first real laps in this car. Drifting session is about to go live, so I'm gonna get out there and hopefully adapt to this car as quickly as possible. Also, I brought a special race suit that I've never been able to wear before. That might be the coolest race suit that I own, so I'm gonna go driving first and then I'll show you guys what I'm wearing. Car that I've driven, there's just so much more body roll, and maybe I've also gotten used to kind of sitting so low and further back in a Corvette, but there's just so much body roll, in this car, so that's definitely something I'm gonna have to get used to, but the power band felt sick. I'm actually drifting in 4th, which I didn't expect to be. I expected to be in 3rd, but in 3rd you're like immediately on limiter, so moved into 4th and everything is feeling a lot better. I still just need to get comfortable with all the inputs and what it does to this car specifically. We did have an issue with our same little fitting there that just does not want to stay on. Oh, now, okay, so the JB wheel got a little bit loose, so now
I got like a snatch block set up right there.
Yep, we're gonna have a bunch of extra safeties around that because it is just, you know, feeding the catch cam, but this car or this engine right now is pushing a lot of oil. You gotta drain that at the end of every day, kind of, is what Duarte told us, so we just want to make sure that that fitting is at least not gonna come off. I think we have 3 more sessions today. Hopefully next session I'll just get more comfortable with the differences of this chassis compared to what I'm used to drifting with the Corvette and the 350Z. What do you think, Jim?
Oh boy.
That looks right, right?
That looks great.
Looks great.
There's 3 different points it's securing from, so it's like tied down from multiple locations. That's never gonna move.
This is what I was going to show you guys when I talked about my outfit. So I've never worn this suit before. This is a full, like, custom Wonder Woman suit that, wait, what does it say on the back? Does it say Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman.
Oh, sick. See, I don't even remember what this has on it. Because I had this suit made when I was driving the Wonder Woman Monster Jam truck, and I thought this was the coolest thing in the entire world, and I was not allowed to wear it. So I had to wear a different suit when I was driving that truck, and this is gonna be the first time that I've ever worn this suit, and I love it. I don't know why I've waited so long. I should wear this as a Halloween costume.
Good.
That would work. I could be race car driver for Halloween and Wonder Woman.
Just being yourself for Halloween.
Being myself for Halloween. Oh, I thought this was so cool, and honestly, I forgot like how the whole design was. I haven't seen it in a few years, because this was made in 2018. I think so. Now I'm gonna drive with my Wonder Woman suit on. Nick is looking for some silicone, like gasket maker as well, to just go around our mate shift fix for the valve cover fitting. I should be okay. We only have, what, 3 more sessions? The next one is in 4 hours, so I got some time to hang out. So I think the car will be perfectly fine to get through like a few more laps basically, and that's all that I have left for Gridlife. And hopefully I can figure out the car by then. My dreams are coming true right now. I've always wanted a pet duck since I was a child. What, did you guys just hear me talking about your duck? I was like, oh my God, please come my way. What's her name?
Her name's Bo.
I love
Instagram _motherducker.
Mother Ducker.
Yeah.
I love it.
The bag.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she flaps her wings. It's a good picture.
It's
Yeah.
always someone who's watching TV. She'll really be like playing up.
I love you.
How do you like show affection for like a dog? You like love it, you squeeze it.
I just run up on her and just attack her with love.
So Hyundai USA is out here. They're actually pitted like right next to RTR. This is RTR and this is Hyundai. They're out here doing ride-alongs in their production Elantra car and their TCR car. And Mark was actually like helping me as my driver coach when I was driving with them at COTA. What's up? my instructor in my Elantra N. So we'll see if we can make that happen back in Florida. But right now, they're doing their drift session, and I'm gonna go out with Adam in the Mustang. Session because there's kind of an insane amount of traffic between all of the drip cars and all the drift cars, but screw it. I need more laps in this thing anyway, so I can get as comfortable as possible. just seeing what happens. And there's insane body roll. I've never felt anything like this. It's crazy. But it's fun. So glad that I went out in that session. I'm finally starting to feel comfortable in this car. And there's one corner, there's actually 2 or 3 where like it's on the limiter and 4th. Now I know the gearing, probably diff ratio and everything is different in this one, but mentally it's weird because, especially with the CDO9 transmission, I've never needed to drift in 5th gear. I've never drifted in 5th gear. So I could probably upshift to 5th gear, but I'm just gonna back off a little bit on some of the corners here. I would say still the weirdest thing for me that I'm just gonna have to get used to is all of the body movement and body roll. And you have to do more manual steering. So I still am not even actively thinking of doing manual steering. I'm just doing what's natural, and it's kind of working out. So there's not as much self-steer in this car. So that is completely different and brand new to me, but I'm having a blast. I'm just trying to push myself, send it in there harder, do some clutch kicks, and just have fun. However, we had one more issue. Now, the fitting on the valve cover on the other side got loose.
This side wound up coming loose too, so I got a hammer and chisel and hammered it in there.
Hammer and chisel, okay. Oh, we'll be fine. Everything's fine. For the first time in person is this beauty right here, Rob's Rotor FD. This car yet in person, and right now it's gonna happen. I'm stoked. That was real good. Oh my god. What? It was so much fun. That was really wild. I think that was definitely some of the fastest drifting that I might have ever done. Again, I still could have pulled 5th, but I didn't. So I was on the limiter in 4th in a few different corners. But that was wild. Definitely that last session, I got a lot more comfortable in the car. And on my very last lap, I knew it was the last lap, and I'm like, I gotta go for it. I was able to link the entire course, all the high speed stuff. That felt really, really good. Me having to adapt to like the body roll I wasn't used to, the different gearing, the chassis, everything. That was so good for me as a driver. So just big shout out and thank you again to Drift HQ and Duarte for letting me borrow this car this weekend. I was really stoked to just be driving and then to get to rip around in this. It was awesome. We had a few little issues along the way trying to fix some stuff, but that's part of it. Literally, I'm just getting reps in for when it happens to my own car. So that's part of drifting. When you push these cars so insanely, like it's naturally just gonna always be something to fix or do on them. But that was the very, very last session of the drifting for Gridlife. We're heading out super early tomorrow morning, but I've had such a good time driving, and I know everything that I learned from this weekend I'll carry into when I'm back in my own car. Maybe I'll jump in this one again. I don't know, but I had a blast, and it was awesome meeting a lot of you guys out here too. I'm stoked that throughout the whole weekend, the only thing that I need to fix on this car is that I owe Duarte side skirt. I kind of like got the back end of the car off on like the very last corner at one point, and I guess it flew off then. And then somebody gave me a little tap in the rear here, but I think I can just buff that out. So I'm stoked to go through the entire weekend having fixed the car and not done that much damage. So Duarte, I'll get you another side skirt. I'm sorry.